ilalahad na mga ng mga miyembro ng komite na ito na posibleng baguhin sa budget ng ahensya. So thank you very much po. This is going to be a collaboration between the House and the Senate and the DPWH in terms of ensuring that the budget for the DPWH for year 2026 will be fiscally sound and will be very responsive to the needs of the Filipino people. With that, the committee invites questions from the members, particularly on the utilization of the previous budgets and the proposed allocation for fiscal year 2026. As part of the House's commitment to greater transparency in the budget process and in line with the current leadership's initiatives in the Committee on Appropriations to foster a more participatory budget process, we shall read the questions submitted by the civil society organizations after all members have propounded their questions to the agency. We request Secretary Vince Dizon and his team to please provide necessary clarifications and to respond directly to the issues at hand to ensure that this committee and the public following this proceeding are fully informed of the anticipated impact of the proposed budget of the Department of Public Works and Highways. May I remind our distinguished colleagues that each member is allotted 5 minutes for questioning or interpellation, excluding the responses of the resource persons. When you hear the first bell, may bell ba tayo dito? There's no bell, but we do have a timer, as you can see on the screen. You will be prompted if you have 30 seconds left to conclude your questions. And finally, there would be a time expired flashing on the screen once your time elapses. In accordance with the long-standing and respected tradition of the House of Representatives, and in accordance with our internal rules in the Committee on Appropriations, to accord preferential treatment to the minority members, followed by the independent and majority members. My apologies. Based on our internal rules, the order shall indicate majority member first, minority, then independent, then majority. So we will follow that line of recognizing our members in alternating manner. And with that,
Madam Chair, I have a...
Vice Chair Rufus, if
yes,
this is, may we proceed to recognize the first interpellator?
This is regarding a point of order and a parliamentary inquiry at the same time. Madam Chair, we could not... we could not proceed, Madam Chair, with question and answers when there is no presentation of the budget. In other words, just like when we have our second reading of bills, there is always that committee amendments. Here, I think the best way, the Secretary is already studying it very well upon order of the President to review. What will be the basis for our questions when there is no budget presented? Practically, there is no budget being presented. What is submitted in the NEP is not what the Secretary will want us to discuss. So there's really, with that statement of the Secretary, let's allow him. Let's allow the Secretary and the team to be able to come out already what they see as their initial findings of deficiencies, of errors, so that when we come, we have a new budget that is already corrected by the proper agency for us to ask questions. We cannot ask questions now. There's no budget. Is there a budget pending? Because the Secretary has said, na i-review, he would like to request us to give inputs, and we will do it. But how can we put inputs when what we will say may be already be corrected by the resubmitted budget of the DPWH? It's a procedural issue that we have to tackle. Because otherwise, what is the paper we are going to review? That's one submitted. He has said that there are so many mistakes there, so many redundancy, so many projects already finished but still in the budget. Let us give a chance to the DPWH and let's have a meeting after we give them some time, and that is where we will have our minority majority. But I submit to the chairperson.
Thank you very much, Representative Rodriguez. Again, the position of the committee is that members have all been provided with a copy of the 2026 National Expenditure Program and subsequently the General Appropriations Bill of the Committee on Appropriations, and that those two documents as well as the BESF would be enough as a basis that the members can leverage to field their questions to the DPWH. I am also in agreement with Secretary Vince Dizon that it may be a little bit academically moot to look at to present a budget that would anyways be totally overhauled. Not revised, maybe an understatement. That would be totally overhauled. So with that, I move to recognize the first interpellator from the part of the minority, Senior Deputy Minority Leader Edgar Erice. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
My apologies po. With the leave of SDML Erice. With the permission of SDML Erice, we would like to first recognize the Minority Leader, Marcelino Lebanon. You have the floor, sir.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Ang ating pong mahal na sekretary hindi nag-present ng budget dito at parang apologetic na siya sa ginawang budget ng DPWH. Pero kami po ay natasan magtanong, kaya ito pa rin ang itatanong namin. Po ba? So, sa akin tingin po, ang buong budget natin ay 6.793 trillion na ipinasa sa atin ng DBCC, ng ating Executive Department. At sa 6.7 trillion na ito, 880.01 billion ang pondo ng DPWH. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Minority Leader. Tama po.
At sa 880.01 billion, ang nababasa po namin na flood control projects ay umaabot ng 250.8 billion. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Representing 32.3% of your budget. Ito po yun. 32.3% of your budget nasa flood control. Alam niyo, masaya po kami na inilabas ito ng ating Pangulo kasi kahit kami, hindi namin ito alam na ganito kalaki ang ating flood control projects. 32.3%. At unfortunately, ito yung pinaglalaanan ng malaking pondo ng ating bansa pero hindi natatapos ang ating baha. Nandyan pa rin ang ating baha. Aware po ba kayo sa top 20 flood-prone provinces sa ating bansa? Based sa ating geohazard mapping and assessment? Tama po ba? Alam nyo, may kasabihan ni Edward A. Murphy Jr., American Aerospace Space Engineer sa California, ang sinabi, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Dito na po tayo nagsisimula magkamali. Dahil yung mga binabahang probinsya ay hindi natin tinatamaan. Anong binabahang probinsya natin? Number 1, Maguindanao, 158 hectares. Number 2, Cagayan, 135.6 hectares. Number 3, Pangasinan. Number 4, Isabela. Number 5, Nueva Ecija. Number 6, Palawan. Number 7, Pampanga. Number 8, Agusan del Sur. Number 9, Zamboanga del Sur. Number 10, Iloilo. Number 11, North Cotabato. Number 12, Leyte. Number 13, Bulacan. Number 14, Northern Samar. Number 15, Tarlac. Number 16, Capiz, Zambales, Davao del Norte, Camarines Sur, and Western Samar. Ito po yung ating top 20 flood control provinces na talagang binabaha. Pero sa pinaglalaanan po natin ng pondo ng DPWH, kayo po ang nag-identify dito Nasa NEP po natin at nasa isumbong sa Pangulo po ito. 12 sa mga probinsya, wala po dito sa top 20 provinces. Ano bang basis ninyo sa identification? Kaya, mahal na Secretary, kailangan itong pag-aralan dahil mananalo lang po tayo dito pang maganda ang ating planning. Alam nyo, 2019, Secretary, napapansin ko sa aking probinsya sa Eastern Samar, sa bayan ko, San Rafael na barangay, Taft, Eastern Samar, may nagsulputan mga proyekto. Una, yung mga rock netting. 3 billion, hindi namin maintindihan sa Eastern Samar. Hindi naman naglalandslide, hard rock, pero 3 billion ang inilagay. At may mga flood control projects po kami na nakikita namin. Ngayon pa lang nagsulputan, isa sa Hernani, barangay ng Hernani ng Suong, at saka isa sa barangay ng Llorente. Ngayon pa lang sinimulan, 2024 budget. At ang nakikita namin ay malaki ang accomplishment na inire-report at actually nag-mobilize pa lang. In preparation, pag malaki ang accomplishment, pag wala nang nakakatingin, tingnan nyo po, baka ito na yung magiging ghost projects, kukubrahin na yung 100%. Malaki ang problema namin sa aming mga seawall, Secretary. Maraming tinatamaan ng super typhoon. Yung mga Pacific towns, hindi namin maintindihan, hindi na-prioritize yung seawall, pero nasa river controls pa natin. Kailangan i-rationalize natin ang paggamit ng ating pondo. At kailangan managot ang dapat managot po dito sa paglustay ng kaban ng bayan. Maraming salamat po.
Minority Leader, Honorable Minority Leader, maraming salamat po. Agree po ako sa lahat ng sinabi ninyo. Kung meron man pong flood control projects, dapat po ang uunahin dito yung mga pinaka-nangangailangan ng flood control project. Yan po ay tingin ko ay common sense, Honorable Minority Leader. Kaya po ang gagawin po natin, kasama po dito sa ating pag-review at pag-repaso, isa sa mga pinakamalaki nating priority ay ang pag-repaso ng flood control budget. Napakalaki po nito. Mahigit 30% ng 880 billion budget ng DPWH ay nasa flood control. In fact, Madam Chair, sa pinakita po sa aking numero, hindi lang po 250, 268.3 billion ang nakalagay sa flood control. So ito po talaga kailangan rebisahin, repasuhin. We have to put rhyme and reason. We have to put order in allocating the precious funds of our people. And it will start, obviously, with science, as mentioned by Chair Mika earlier. Kailangan po science-based ito. Hindi ito po pwedeng kung saan-saan na lang po kinukuha ang mga numero at kung saan-saan na lang po ginagagay. Kailangan po ilalagay ito base sa siyensya. Kaya po, makakaasa po kayo, Honorable Minority Leader, gagawin po natin yan sa ating pagre-repaso at pagre-review nitong budget ng DPWH.
With the indulgence of the body, we will allow the minority leader to field an additional question. Go ahead po, ML.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Further observation po, Secretary. Sa 880 billion ng DPWH, 300 ang nakukompute ko, yung dinidecide, ina-identify ng districts, ay umaabot ng 381 billion. On the assumption na 1.5 billion per district ang ating allocation. Ibig sabihin, 499 billion, ito yung nasa budget ng DPWH, less sa inyong maintenance and operating expenses at saka personnel services. Bawasan ito ng 32.3% sa flood control, 249 na lang billion, at may nakatago pa yung information sa akin ng ating